Hello friends, welcome on. So in this video, we are going to see how to cover international relations current affairs. See guys, just try to know these facts so that you get a sense of clarity. See, every year in UPSC, 10 to 12 questions are from international relations. And out of this 10 to 12 questions, 8 questions can be easily answered if you complete current affairs or if you study current affairs. Then you might ask, sir, what about the rest 4? What about the 4 or the other 2 questions, which is, how to approach that? See guys, those 2 questions are not in monthly magazines. Those cannot be covered using PT 365. Even your newspaper notes, even your PIB notes, or take whatever sources it might be, you cannot, give 100% to any particular subject when it comes to UPSC prelims. Yes, you can get some 90 to 95 percentage of accuracy, and for 90 to 95 percentage of the accuracy, or to answer some 8 to 10 questions from current affairs and international relations, the methodology which I'm going to tell, the approach which I'm going to tell, is going to be very effective and it is going to be helpful. So this is the first thing. So the simple point is like you can answer 8 out of 12 using my method, and at the meantime you need to work upon it. Okay, now the second important point. See guys, the intention of making this video, it's very easy for me to give this video in a class format. I can come, I can take a class, I can tell, this particular region is in news, there happens to be a military coup, some leader was there, an opposition leader was there, they both fought, and all those things. I can show my knowledge to you, but whether it is going to be effective, and that too in this particular time frame where you have only some 40 days for this upcoming prelims, no. The classes are going to be lengthy, it is going to be time consuming, and for that, you know for the questions, the nature of questions which UPSC ask in international relations, for that you watching some marathon videos of 5, 6, 7 videos, wasting hours of time, is not effective, guys. This is the first thing. The second thing, even the PET 365 becomes very difficult for you to study without you having a strategy. It will be not effective if you don't take a proper notes out of it, if you don't have the notes, if you don't revise it, you will not execute properly in the examination. So a proper guidance, a proper mentorship is required in order to cover current affairs for international relations. And the intention of the video is to give you that. So kindly watch this video completely so that you get a hold of it. Try to execute this. You will hardly take some 5 days for completing international relations, and the fruit or the benefit you will get is like some 8 to 10 questions in the examination hall, and you will be thanking me for that. So yes guys, anyway, so coming to the first thing, see, I just want you to divide international relations into some four broad areas, guys. First is like places in news or region in news. You can take a note of it also. First is like regions, places, or nations in news. The second one is connectivity. The third one is organizations, and the fourth one is agreements. Okay, so I just want you to divide international relations into these four things. Now, coming to the major thing that is called as regions and nation in news, which is UPSC favorite for the last 3 years. So if you see last 3 years, UPSC is asking some 2 to 3 questions, even 4 questions from this particular topic. Now, how to complete this topic? How to cover this particular region? See guys, it's very simple and it's effective also. See, this is not something which I created out of my own. I am showing my expertise. This is what UPSC is asking, and we are inferring from UPSC previous year question paper, and we are putting it forth to you. So the first important thing, see, UPSC is asking what is happening where. Simple as that. Is asking what are the nations which were in news, what are the regions which were in news. Nations are different from regions. And is asking what are the places which are in news. Okay, now why in news? If you look at that particular column, why in news, or like for what and all reasons they were in news, the major reason you will find is conflicted areas or conflicts. Now what is conflicts? See, conflicts can be anything. It can be a military coup, okay, or it can be a coup, it can be any strike which is going on, a mass strike, okay, it can be the failure of the constitution, the topple of the government, it can be economic depression, okay, it can be some insurgency, it can be war like Israel Palestine, Russia Ukraine war, it can be any border dispute between two nations like Israel Palestine, okay, and it can be some military base which is established by any organization, it can be famine, it can be anything. So these are the conflict zones. So I have given you all the major things here. Okay, you can add one or two things to this. So these are the conflicts for which a nation is in news. So first see the conflicts, guys. Okay. Now what I want you to do is like take two monthly magazines of your choice. Your choice. I would always recommend you to take magazines of reputed institutes because they spend a lot to publish those current affairs magazines, and at the meantime the information which is covered in those magazines are like abundant. So what I wanted to do is like just see what is happening. Just see these are the conflicts. Just see where is the conflict happening and what is the type of the conflict. If you do this, it's more than enough. See, again, one more thing. It's very easy for me. Again, I'm telling you, it's very easy for me to give the same in the PDF format because it will hardly take me, to sit for some 3 hours to write down all the nations' name, to write down all the regions' name, to write down all the, places' name, and put a dash and then write what is the conflict. But again, see, guys, if I do this, if I give it to you, then it becomes dependency for you. Okay, you leave about the dependency. You will not even understand what you are studying. The retention rate is going to be very, 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 very low. Now, if you work from the monthly magazine, if you write from yourself, if you make notes, then it becomes very easy. Then the retention rate is going to be high. And for covering this, it will hardly take you 1 to 2 days, not more than that. Because if you take a monthly magazine, you will hardly get some 5 to 6 places. Okay, for 10-month magazines, you can hardly cover, like you can easily cover those. And you will see the continuation of nations or regions or places in news again and again and again and again. You're getting me, guys? You're getting me? Okay. There might be some other places, there might be some other regions which might be in news other than these things. Other than these things, give less priority. Because we are going with the trend, we are trusting UPSC, we are trusting PYQs. So give less priority. I'm not telling don't study. I'm just telling study only if it is required. Or else you can also take a risk of skipping it. You're getting me, guys? Again, first thing is this. Now, if you are smart, then what you will do is like you will add mapping to this also. Now, a candidate will not only write the country name, you will also take a world map, you will also try to mark, and you will also try to write what is happening there. If you do this, then trust me, guys, those 2 to 3 questions is like in your hands and you are not going to leave those. Kindly do this and you see the effectiveness. Okay, it's better than you watching some 3 videos, some 10 hours, 12 hours of videos, you know which is published by any anyone. So it's better than this, because in this 6 to 10 hours, the same thing, what you are going to do is like you are going to take the monthly magazines, you are going to take a note of it, you are going to mark in the map, and you will revise it. Now the retention rate becomes higher. That is the effectiveness. You are getting me, guys? So this is the first thing. Now, after completing this, the second thing which I want you to do is like write down all the agreements which are peacemaking, like peacemaking agreements or any conflict resolution agreements, like Arab peace initiatives or any other initiatives. Because a quarrel is there, then some agreement is brought between two nations or two parties using a mediator, and then and consensus is made. So this is what is happens in like will happen in international relations. So what I wanted to do is like please make a note on the peacemaking agreements, the parties involved in the agreement, okay, and when it is signed. That's it. More than enough. The mediating agent. If you do this, you will get again one question from this agreement, guys. Because UPSC is generally concentrating on this. So I think the first one is done, the second one is done. Now, an extra information to you, or you might consider this as a bonus. I'm not now, quite sure how to help you with that. Okay. So the extra bonus here is, see, UPSC favorite zone is Asia, Africa, and South America. Okay. UPSC favorite zone is Asia, Africa, and South America. Kindly concentrate here. Kindly concentrate here. In fact, what I'll tell you is like you divide Asia into five. You divide Asia into five, like Central Asia, Southeast Asia, West Asia, East Asia. Okay. Then after dividing Asia, try to make a note on the nations. regions and places. Whatever is given in the monthly magazines, 2 monthly magazines, you kindly complete the 10 magazines. It will hardly take you some 6 hours. You complete this. This is more than enough, guys. Okay. So this is the first thing. Now, the second thing is with respect to the organizations. Now, how to cover organizations? Again, going with the trend of UPSC, after analyzing the UPSC PVQs, you will get to know that UPSC is asking, you know, organization based questions in a similar manner or in a similar fashion. So the first thing which I want you to do is like whenever you see a organization in current affairs, PD 365 or even in a current affairs magazine, the first thing which I want you to do is like please make a note of it whether the particular organization is a member of United Nations or not, or whether it is a United Nation organization or whether it is outside the scope of UN. Because this is one statement you will get frequently in UPSC prelims. So first one is like whether it's a UN body or not in UN body. Again, what you can do is like you can make a list of UN body and you can write it down all the list of UN bodies separately and non-UN bodies separately. That is in your notes, I am telling. So first make a note of this UN body. There might be United Nations General Assembly, okay. Then there might be International Court of Justice, all those United Nations, UNEP. So whatever comes in the magazines, United Nations, please make a separate list. Non-UN, please make a separate list. First thing first, okay. The second thing is like what I wanted to do is like those non-members, right? I want you to know the members of the non-UN organizations members. If it's more than 20, 25, then leave this. If it is like less than 20, 15, those organizations, please make a note of it. Members, again, please have a note whether India is a member or not. India is a member or not. See guys, generally what happens is like whenever you go through the organizations, we tend to study all the information which is given there, their impacts on India or India response to this particular aspect, how the international you know agencies are looking at it, what is the report which is given. No, not these things are not important for prelims aspects, guys. And that too, with the days which is left for UPSC prelims, if you start studying those, then it is going to be not that much effective with respect to your timing. So please have a note of the members of the particular organization, and then whether India is a member or not. Fine. So say for instance BRICS is there, say for instance SEO is there, say for instance NATO is there. So have a check at it whether India is a member or not. Okay. And then how to become a member of this particular organization also becomes very important. So three things, guys: membership, whether India is a member or not. Again, how to become a member of the particular organization. Just one line. One line, it's more than enough. More than enough. Okay, these three things. Again, the next important aspect is like just try to have a look whether the particular organization resolutions are binding on the parties or not. Okay, so these are some peculiar informations which you need to check upon. You can also use the chat GPT. Then the most important point is like what is the purpose of the organization? What is the purpose for what is the purpose of organization? Say for instance there is United Nation environmental program. Okay, so what is the purpose of UNEP? Then there was a question last year about World Toilet Organization, I think. Okay, so this toilet organization, what is the purpose of the organization? UPSC like gave it in a statement like the purpose of the organization is to grant funds, which is not the purpose at all. Okay, so I just want you to note down the purpose of the organization. What is the sole purpose of the organization for which it is made? Okay, generally the organizations will be recommendatory in nature, but again I just want you to have a check at those. Then its origin and the recent initiatives, whatever it has brought in. These initiatives, you just make a list of it. See guys, you will hardly get some 30 to 40 organizations. I'm seriously telling you, in a day you can cover some 10 to 15 organizations if you sit for some 5 or 6 hours, and within 3 days you can complete full organization which is there in current affairs, which is there in P365 or monthly magazines. You can complete all the organizations with your notes, and it becomes very easy for you to revise. And trust me, you will get 1 to 2 questions very easily from this thing. And one more point when it comes to organization is like, see, this is out of my experience, and again I'm just giving it to you as an information, like as an friendly suggestion. The point is, like, when it comes to organization, it becomes very easy for you to eliminate and get the answer in the UPSC prelims, because the statements which are framed in itself are like easily, solvable, or like one can apply logics or tricks in order to find out the answer. So organization, don't stretch much, like stress yourself much. But again, at the meantime, don't leave this particular aspect. Try to complete at least 30 to 35 so that you get a hold. At least to these things like members, binding, purpose, origin, initiatives, and try to have a A4 sheet notes with you. Okay, handwritten notes with you, because at the end of the day, that is going to help you. Or else, what will happen this year, you will watch a video, you will make a note of the video, next year again you will watch this video, and after that also you will watch video, you will continuously watching us, and you executing the examination hall is not going to be effective, because you have not taken your notes. You see any topper, guys, you take any topper, all have their respective notes. It might be e-notes, it might be whatever note it is, all take their notes, all revise their notes. Then if you are not going to do it, then you are going to be at loss. So kindly do the notes with respect to the organizations also. You will get some 2 to 3 questions from organizations when it comes to international relations. You're getting this, guys? Am I clear? Fine. Anyway, moving forward. Now, the most important aspect, bilateral and multilateral agreements. See, UPSC again asks questions, 2 questions from this agreements area. Now, what I wanted to do is, like, India has relationship with various nations. But UPSC, if you see, generally they are asking Southeast Asian nations, and at the meantime they are asking nations of European Unions or USA. So this is the agreements area which UPSC is concentrating more. This is the trend, guys. Okay, so India in European Union, or India and USA is something which you can expect this year also, according to the trend. So USA, EU, any agreements which India signs, please make a note of this agreement and what is the purpose of the agreement. Enough, more than enough. If any mediator is there, well and good. Not there, well and good. So say for instance, India and USA have signed an agreement. Okay, so please write down the agreement name. What is the purpose of the agreement? More than enough. More than enough. There might be some 7 to 8 points, but again, as an UPSC aspirant, you need to know the purpose for which the agreement is signed. What is the key area which you need to be, like, you need to have in your mind? Whether the agreement will improve the trade, whether it's a military based agreement, whether it is a strategic based agreement. So, all those sort of things. You're getting me, guys? So, kindly make a note of the agreement which is in use for the last 1 year, which India has signed, or which other two nations are signed. Okay, other two nations are signed and India becomes a party of it. So kindly make a note of this agreement. You will hardly find some 10 to 15 agreements. You make a note of these agreements, and out of this agreements, you will get few questions. So by doing this like in two A4 sheet pages itself, you can complete all the agreements which is there in use. Fine, guys. And again, one more point. See, this is an add-on. Recently, for the past 2 years, what UPSC is doing is, like, he's asking any acts, he's asking any resolution which is passed in European Union. Okay, so I think there was an act called some Financial Stability Act which was passed in European Union, and UPSC asked it last year. So any act or some data driven act was passed in European Union, and it was asked in UPSC also. Okay, so any European Union act which is passed, please have a note of this act which is passed in European Union, and try to note it down. What is the purpose of the act? That is more than enough. Purpose of the act which was passed in European Union or any other nations for that matter. You even for to be on a safer side, you can also consider USA also. So USA, European Union, and UK for that matter. If you complete these three nations, any act which is passed, okay, so please make a note. What is the purpose? By doing this, you can complete the agreements. So I think the regions, the countries, places, and news is done. Plus, at the meantime, you'll also get to know peacemaking initiatives between two nations. Those agreements, you need to take a look at it, and then the organizations, then the agreements. Okay. Then the last important point is connectivity. Okay. Now, what do you mean by connectivity? See, connectivity refers to something which connect two places. Simple. So if you check, UPSC also asks connectivity. So what you need to do is, like, whatever connectivity projects or whatever connectivity based, um, organizations or initiatives comes into a picture, you need to do the map work and you need to note the important places. Say for instance, there is a trilateral highway. Say for instance, there is some pipeline. Say for instance, there is Nord Stream line. Okay, Nord Stream pipeline. Okay, so these are connectivity projects. International North-South Transport Corridor. These are connectivity projects. Okay, so these connectivity projects should be taken note by you because UPSC is showing keen interest when it comes to connectivity, and one question is being asked from this particular area. So in general, if you see international relation as a whole, you will see that four important areas are there, and in this four areas 2 to 3 questions are distributed accordingly. Okay, and these distributed questions can be easily answered by you working in this particular fashion, by giving priorities to Asia, Africa, South America when it comes to the regions in news or places in news. When it comes to agreements, by giving importance to European Union and USA. And at the meantime, when it comes to organizations, have a note whether it is an United Nations or not United Nation projects, and also by solving some PYQs of last 3 years, especially international relations, so that you will get to know the logics and what is the trend. Okay, see, it's very easy for me to give a statement that whenever UPSC asks whether this body is a United Nation body, the particular statement is going to be false. It's very easy for me to give this as a logic. But what I want you to do is like, but what I want is like, I want you guys to work upon it, because only if you work, you are going to clear the prelims. And this I have seen with my personal experience, guys. See, to be very genuine and very frank, the point is like, you are here to crack this examination. You are here to crack this prelims. For you cracking the prelims, you need to put in efforts. For you putting in efforts, you need to sit with a piece of paper, write it down, map, do the map work, note all the important places, and revise those and go and execute in the prelims. So kindly do this. And if you have any opinion or any question to ask, kindly ask that in the comment box below so that I'll be very happy to respond to you. Fine. So that's it with regards to this video, guys. Thank you. Thank you for watching.